Taurians out there. So please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. So if you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are in the description box below as usual. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? Commenting, liking will help the video to get picked up by the algorithm so I can become more popular. Appreciate it if you would. So let's get into it for the Taurus. So okay, so the cards that I come up with for the Taurians are the Devil, the Strength card, King of Imps, the Lovers. I am using the Halloween Tarot because Halloween is right around the corner. We're in October, basically. The Lovers, right? The Knight of Imps, the Moon, the Judgment, Six of Cups. Got a lot of stuff going on, Taurus. 5 of Pumpkins, 3 of Ghosts, 4 of Imps, 8 of Ghosts, 9 of Pumpkins, 5 of Bats, and last but not least, we have a 4 of Pumpkins. So, what I'm seeing here for the Taurus, the Devil, Strength, King of Imps. So, right off the rip, this is, someone came to you, someone came at you trying to be in a relationship with you, or you were in a relationship with someone, and the way that they would approach you is quite wrong. Thinking that they can control you, super, right, just arrogant, overly confident about who knows, right, thinking that, they were in some sort of direct competition with you, right, all that type of stuff, right, complete idiocy, because the reason why they were in direct competition with you, especially if you was treating them well, who knows, right? Well, I do know, but they just look idiotic doing it, is the point that I'm trying to make. The Lovers is about now how the Lovers and the Knight of Imps represents now how they remember or they realize that they quote unquote love you, or they see you as someone that's so important to them now after this, that you're done with them. So now that a lot of you Taurans are like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not freaking with you. You have too much craziness going on. It is what it is about you. You have too many issues. This is what you're saying to them. The Moon is now about how the Moon and the Judgment, right? But especially the Moon is about them thinking about. It's actually the both of you, right? It's them thinking about how they're going to try to reach out to you, or what they should do about this current situation that they're in now that they don't have you Taurians in their life anymore. And the Moon also represents, this is about you Taurus bulls thinking about how you get sacrificed essentially in relationships. Like a lot of the times Taurus, like you got to understand the even houses, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Those are the houses that are the houses of pain and suffering and self-sacrifice. Don't thumb down the video because I'm a Virgo, which is the 6th house. So I understand what is it that you're going through. A lot of the times 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 are the houses of like friendship, luxury, right? And knowing a lot of people and kind of enjoying themselves that way. Not saying that those zodiac signs, that is Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, right, Sagittarius, and Aquarius don't suffer. That's not what I said. What I'm saying is that they are willing to do things a lot of the times that will help them go through the least amount of pain as possible, as to where the even houses 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, we represent people that go through a lot of crap. And the Judgment is about this person making a decision, right? The Judgment and the 6 of Ghosts is about this person making a decision to hit you up again. definitely going to reach out to you. You got to understand that right now we're still in retrograde energy, if I'm not mistaken, or going into it. Either way it goes, retrogrades are no fun. Having someone call you up whom it was a complete disaster to be with them is obviously no fun. So, especially if you really don't want them back legitimately, right? Genuinely, you don't want them back. And the judgment represent how a lot of you Taurus, again, you have to stop volunteering to being sacrificial bulls. See, part of the reason why it is that Taurus goes through this very painful dynamic, really all of the earth signs go through, without exception, go through this painful dynamic is a lot of the times Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn has to have a reason to change, right? So too many times Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, which are the three earth signs, they're more so reactionary when they're very young, and they're supposed to be honest with you, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are really supposed to be the most richest people on earth, right? Because they're earth signs. But you have to understand that being that level of success that I'm talking to you Taurians, it takes taking initiative as opposed to being reactive. Because a lot of the times the Taurus go through a situation, Taurus, where they're a little bit too slow, steady, and unmovable. And sometimes that can really hurt them. And the thing is that, and the reason why I'm saying that is because initiative is the ability to make a decision, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that taking the initiative is overly aggressive or it's overly defensive. It's actually neutral, because you have the ability to make a decision as to what you're going to do, right? To adapt, which is what Virgo is excellent in. The mutable signs, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces, are great in. But the thing is that when you're reactionary is passive, meaning that you allow things to happen to you and you kind of overly accept things. Even when things aren't necessarily supposed to be accepted, you accept it. And as a result of this, pay attention, my Taurus, because this is a serious life lesson for you. Too many times with you Taurians, what will happen is that people will do things to you, especially in the context of the people whom you like, you love, ruled by, right, Taurus being ruled by Venus, because you allowed that stuff to happen. You allowed certain individuals to get close to you when you should honestly cut them off immediately once they start being funny style, and you need to know what to look out for. But see, the Five of Pentacles is that once this person tried to hit you up, you were like, nah, you're done. You know what I mean? And the Three of Ghosts represents how, for you, a lot of you realize that you don't need this person anymore, right? You don't need to have this person anymore. You don't need to hang around this person because you're losing with them. You're winning when you're not around them specifically, right? But in general, by yourselves. So the Four of Imps, right? To piggyback off of the Three of Ghosts, is that you already have people whom it is that you know that you can trust. But at the same time, the Eight of Ghosts represents that right now it's kind of a turning point in some of you Taurians' lives, because it represents that some of you Taurians are starting to realize, not just with romantic loved ones, but also with people who are friends and stuff like this, maybe even family members. Some of you Taurians are starting to realize that you can't necessarily trust these type of people. So the Nine of Pumpkins is, there's a whole new level of transformation coming to a head where that Scorpio polarity that the Taurus pulls from, of that sacrificial bull, right? That kind of 86 energy, right? That ending energy, right? Is pulling from the polarity of Scorpio. So things that the Five of Bats is about how, like, the Five of Bats and the Four of Pumpkins is about how it is that, it's this new rebirth that's happening with a lot of you Taurians. But the thing is that when people see that, especially when it comes to like so-called loved ones, like friends that you cut off, that you didn't necessarily tell, which I don't suggest you ever tell them that you cut them off, they'll find out in the future. But this is more so about as of right now, or very close, if it hasn't happened already, right? But this is about them not taking the hint, coming right back and trying to, see what it is that you can offer them. But those types of people who will play dumb, you know what I mean? When you cut them off, yeah, don't even go through it with them. Trust me, I've already done that for you, Taurus, in the past. It's no use. These people are psychotic. It's no use. Listen, I'm telling you from personal experience. It's no use. So, let's clarify the Four of Pumpkins. So you have to clarify. You have the Knight of Spears, the Empress, and the Justice. So yeah. So these people are gonna show up with on their high horse, acting as if like they want to hang out with you. They're giving you a chance, or giving you another chance. They may even be trying to hang out with you. Right? They may take the other approach where they may try to hang out with you. You may be the hot stuff for the night. But the Empress is about how it is that you have to learn to see past through that illusion and keep it pushing. And the Justice is about how it is that, these people essentially will do themselves in, because idiotic is going to do what idiotic does. Sabotage itself. Because the world isn't set up like that. So, let's clarify the Nine of Pumpkins, which is the said rebirth card that I was talking about that you're going to be going through. Let's do that. Seven of Coins, Ten of Swords, Five of Cups. Yeah, Seven of Coins. Accept. You need to learn to accept that this is the reality that you have, right? You got a lot of fake people around you, Taurus, who you got to learn to get rid of. Like a lot of the times, whenever it is that I see I know a lot of Taurians, right? My brothers are Taurus. You know what I'm saying? But like, Taurus people, when they get older, a lot of the times you could kind of see the pain on their face. And it's like, Taurus goes through a lot of stuff. But part of the reason why it is that things aren't as pleasurable for Taurus a lot of the time. Like most Taurus people are not like The Rock. You know what I mean? Dwayne Johnson. And the reason why it is that like a lot of Taurians aren't necessarily like that is because Taurus too many times or oftentimes spend too much time coming up with the decision. And you need to learn to be a little bit more quick. Nothing is, coming from a Virgo, nothing is going to be perfect, And too oftentimes, Taurus is too reactionary. You need to get off your butt and actually make a move here instead of just, So the thing is that the Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups now is about how, yes, so as I said, you accepting your position. The Ten of Swords is about accepting it, but also learning to let it go, right? So that you don't hold grudges. And the Five of Cups is that when you get to a point where you're not upset about it anymore, and you move the way that you need to move based upon what you understand is common sense, how you move, how you yourselves are supposed to move it in a particular situation, right? Then your answer will be here, I remember situations like this all the time, back in 2012 and a little bit earlier. I'll say 2006 all the way to about 2012. Get to know these people, hang out with some of these people, not gonna say who, and just would do some shicey stuff and then act like that, and not even like come over to my house after a few days of calling me a weirdo and not even address it, and like didn't even apologize. So I mean, trust me when I tell you, Taurus, there's no point. What I suggest a lot of you Taurians do is to ghost this person. Ghost them hard. You know what I mean? Because, and I'll even take it a step further just so that y'all can understand a little bit more as to why, right? Because I don't just be talking here, rambling on. I'm telling y'all some strategies. I'll be telling all the zodiac signs some common sense stuff because sometimes maybe y'all may need help. The reason why it is that I'm telling you Taurians to ghost them and to ghost them hard is because, trust me, I've done this too, where what's going to happen here is these types of people who are arrogant, right, to you, playing all these games and doing all this type of dumb stuff, what's going to happen here is if you were to bring it up and say, oh, aren't you going to go ahead and address it, then they're going to act as if they don't know what you're talking about, and then they're going to create a whole other discussion and argument and be all dramatic and catty and suspect and you know what I mean, and all over the place as to, you know, as if they never did anything wrong, and they're gonna act as if they're so upset at you and all this other type of stuff. So, and then you're gonna be even more stressed. So the most stress-free way, the least amount of stress thing to do is to ghost. Distance is one of your is anyone's one of their most powerful tools, because distance, especially if you know that you're a real person and you got a lot of fake people around you, just stop hanging around them and see how it is that they crumble. And it's like distance is initiatory. It's neither offensive or defensive. It's both. It's defensive because it keeps you safe, far away from them, and it's offensive because it's them realizing how much your presence, you being there around them to wipe their butt, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, it was necessary. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Peace.